All right, time for the final question. Ryan, have you ever banged a witch and then yeeted her into the fire?
No, but it's always been my dream to.
Jeremy,
We can all aspire to something.
I'm gonna take that as a no from Jeremy then. Welcome to the Tairimo Boys podcast. I'm your host Cody. With me in second chair is the guy who prefers to have two two-handed battle axes. It's Jeremy.
Two is better than one. Thank you.
In third chair, we got the guy who'll admit that he's more of a librarian than a barbarian. It's Ryan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was reading. What'd you say?
Oh, nothing. Today's podcast, we're going to be talking about the 1980, what year was it?
82.
82, Conan the Barbarian, and not the crappy 2013 one, I think it is.
I think so. I haven't even seen that one, to be honest. So.
It's probably not even worth watching. Everyone always says it's bad.
Was Arnold in it?
No.
Well, yeah, then I wouldn't even want to see it.
I don't think he's fit enough to do those kind of movies anymore.
I thought Dodbound was in.
What was that, Ryan?
Aquaman was in it.
Oh, Lord. What was his name? Jason Momoa? Something like that.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
He was Conan?
Yep.
Oh, God.
And
No,
Amber
thanks. Hard
Heard.
pass. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. Amber Turd. Also hard pass.
Yeah. She was Tulsa Doom.
Sorry, I completely derailed there, but that was great.
Yeah, she was in it, and at one point she turned into a giant turd.
See, this I can believe. I can go with that. You know, her personality really shines through that.
It's more about turd magic than snake magic.
She turned into a giant turd and slithered away down the toilet.
The poop shooting into the toilet. All right. After that derailing, Conan the Barbarian, the old Arnold Schwarzenegger one. So, just as a quick glance, Jeremy, what'd you think of it?
Good 80s fun.
Ryan, what'd you think about it?
Really fun and really stupid.
Fun, stupid, campy. I can't
And
say it
annoying.
wasn't enjoyable.
Exactly.
All right. To get my quiz papers. So Ryan, question for you: what is
Right.
best in life?
Oh, Jesus. To see your enemies driven before you.
You're already out of order.
I can't remember.
Well, you're
To
closer
crush
than I
your
would have
enemies,
been.
see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
Hold on, say it again.
Ooh.
To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
He did it! He did it! He got it in order too.
Does that make me Conan now? Can I punch a camel?
You are the barbarian, and you can punch a camel.
You can punch a horse too, and a snake. You can punch just anything. Just expect jail time for certain things.
You're the barbarian. You can punch any animal you please.
All right, next
You hear?
question. Jeremy, what was the lady thief's name?
Lady thieves me. Valeria.
That is exactly correct.
I
I had to look up her name because I just didn't know
100% looked up her name.
Thank God I didn't get that question.
it.
No, I cheated. I'll admit that. I cheated.
Yeah, I mean that maybe said her name like once or twice, but I didn't pick up on it. So I just called her Lady Thief because that was a rule.
To be honest, did they say her name? Because I truly don't remember.
Yeah, they did.
Ryan has spoken.
Yeah, they did.
Jurassic Park thief. Jurassic Park barbarian lady.
All right, time for the final question. Ryan, have you ever banged a witch and then yeeted her into the fire?
No, but it's always been my dream to.
Jeremy,
We can all aspire to something.
I'm gonna take that as a no from Jeremy then.
Nope, not quite that lucky.
Yep. Well, that's a scene in the movie. Arnold's banging Conan as Arnold, or Arnold as Conan. He's banging like a witch lady, and eats her into the fire.
Yeah, I don't know if she really thought that one out. But then again, we don't see or hear from her again, and she just kind of like wisps off, throwing a tantrum. So
Where
who
else
knows?
do you go?
Maybe we'll see her in the sequel. Maybe.
We'll see. Oh, we talked about that scene. The audience at home, if you can't tell, this movie's fun.
Oh yes.
It's like we mentioned, it's 1982. Is that it?
Yep. 82.
82. The movie just oozes 80s. Like, you've got boobs, you've got campiness,
Bullets.
you got violence. Not like crappy CGI.
Just
but
crappy acting.
Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was thinking about boobs.
Yeah, you know what? I was too. I'm not gonna lie.
There were a lot of boobs in this movie.
There were.
There
You know
were.
what? I was trying to rate them from a scale of 1 to 10. You know who's we didn't get to see is the princesses. I was
Yeah.
very disappointed by this.
We should have seen her boobs too.
Yes, that would have evened the playing field. Some of them were not so enjoyable.
Yeah. So thanks for joining, everyone. Enjoy your boobs.
There you go. 1982 and boobs.
Watch the movie, boobs. That's all. You can go home now. So, plot time. We've gotten boobs out of the system.
This is gonna be thin.
I mean, there's really not a lot to the movie. It's a lot of like
It's
dumb.
an adventure.
But yeah, it's adventure.
It's just an adventure. That's it.
It's a thief movie. It's adventure. It's more adventure. There's some wheel pushing.
Some
I'll say
people
for-
throwing the weakest punches I've ever seen thrown in a movie.
Oh Lord! Don't even get me started on that. That first fight where they throw him into the pit with the guy with the sharpened teeth. That fight drove me fucking insane. Especially like the voice acting. I guess I don't know if they had the microphones too damn close or what was going on in this movie, but just to hear Arnold go thrashing around. Oh, God, that scene got me.
Yep, so that's pretty much the third scene of the movie. So let's just go down the list real quick. Starts off Conan and his dad. Conan's like a kid at this point. His dad's like telling him the story of the something god Crom. Okay, do you remember what kind of god he was? War god?
God of the mountain,
Mountain? Maybe. It
or
was
God that sits on a mountain. I don't know exactly what it was.
Yeah,
Wasn't he like in the center of the earth?
maybe he was. Maybe he's the devil.
Oh God, he worships Satan. There we go. That explains all this cult shit in this movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
there was a lot of cool
I'm,
shit.
I'm derailing all over the place.
Like-
It's too exciting.
Yeah, it's such a campy movie, and they go and they think out like all this lore stuff.
They do, and they try to introduce it at some point in time through the movie.
Yeah, I mean the lore is thin, but I mean it's got a whole world like written around it, and like I know there's a Conan the Barbarian like comic series that's still going on to this day, so it's probably explored more in there. But you've got all these gods, and you got gods being dumb, like I'm so mad at people for stealing steel, kind of like a Prometheus thing. And then I'm gonna start a war because I'm mad at them for stealing steel, and then I'm just gonna leave the steel behind for better things to do. No one stopped to think, hey, maybe this religion thing's kind of dumb.
This was 82. I think this was a brilliant idea at the time for them.
So Conan and his dad talking about the gods. Move on. We get a kind of like a village scene where everyone's familiar with Conan the Barbarian at this point, where Conan gets enslaved as a child. We're introduced to the villains like right away into the movie. One of them supposedly Darth Vader, which I just figured out before the movie, before the podcast.
Darth Jesus, he'll be referred to.
Darth
this
Snake Jesus.
Darth Snake Jesus.
The guy, like his character's name was Thulsa Doom. The guy's got freaking Doom in his name, kind of like Doctor Doom.
That'd be a crossover. Hear that, Marvel?
I think Marvel owns the rights to the comic series.
Well,
Make
there
it
we
happen.
go. Let's see it. Oh yeah, that's gold.
But dude, this goes back to the campiness of it. Like his Thulsa Doom's like henchman. He was just like riding around whacking people with like this giant warhammer. You could tell the warhammer.
One
was
armed.
So fucking
You mean
fake.
Oh, Warhammer?
It's like I wanted it to make like little squeaking noises, like you would whack them all.
Yeah. My friend called it the paper mache Warhammer.
Accurately described.
I think paper mache would have hit a little too hard to be like that.
Compared to the sounds in this movie, yeah.
I think I recognize the the typical stock pot breaking sound at one point in the movie. Just throwing the Wilhelm scream for good measure.
You know, I wonder if we had seen this in the 80s, or the people that have seen this in the 80s, was this like was this cutting edge or was this still goofy at the time? You know, what do you guys think?
Was what?
Was this cutting edge? Was this like, oh man, this movie looks so good, or this acting is so good to the people that just saw this in the theaters, or was it like, wow, this is pretty fucking goofy?
That is a good question.
I just want to know from somebody's perspective.
Well, if
I
you
wish.
can answer that, leave a comment in the comments because I sure as hell can't answer it.
Yeah, all you older people.
Probably should have brought a guest that I was familiar on the movie.
Guess Grandpa for the day.
I don't know. I feel like what's some good movies I can compare it to from the '80s, Ryan?
Goonies,
Great movie.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah. Temple of Doom would probably be a good. I mean, Temple of Doom was kind of campy with Skullhead guy and pulling hearts out, and screaming lady all the time.
Oh god,
Or
I
you
forgot
turned
about
into a
that.
snake.
Yeah, the baby snakes all over.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, I mean, if we just think of it that way, it was probably made to be a little campy,
I can agree with that.
and it's one of those movies too that people constantly refer to. So it's not like it's a complete. It's so bad it's forgotten.
Or maybe it was so bad that it's remembered.
That,
You just broke my brain.
well, after we've all three of us said it was a fun movie, now you're saying it's bad, Jeremy. Transcended reality.
No, it's wonderful. I'm just I'm just considering the perspective of the day. But no, it was good 80s fun.
So everyone's familiar with Conan's backstory. He kind of goes and pushes a wheel around for 20 years.
What a job.
You know, I'm thinking about doing that exercise routine, 20-year wheel. Get jacked like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's what I said. I'll push a wheel around if I get that big. Was that really in the backstory?
Yeah.
Like from the comic books and the short stories?
Oh, that's things like big. Like I know, and I played the Conan Exiles game years ago, and to like tame a slave, you put him on the wheel.
No shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
The crucifixion's like big in the series too. Like the hold on, I'm gonna call it the lazy crucifixion, because spoilers, Conan gets lazy crucified at one point. A vulture swoops out, he kind of bites its neck, kills it. But it's the lazy crucifixion because someone just comes and cuts him down, nails through the fucking wrists.
Do you even get to see him get nailed through the fucking wrists?
No, they tie him up. They tie his freaking
Just-
wrists up to the tree. Like lazy, lazy.
How dare you insult our 82 movie?
It's not 82. It's just laziness.
Okay, it was there was quite a bit of laziness.
There's a
here,
guy who wants to kill me. I better lazy crucify him, not put a guard watching him.
That was my thing. There was no guard. Like, hey, maybe we should like see if he escapes or somebody comes and helps him. Nah, let's go watch MILF Island instead.
I mean, there was guards at the orgy.
Yep.
Oh, there was
Yeah.
plenty there.
There's boobs at the orgy too.
Oh yes, that is one of the constants in the movie. This fucking Conan the Barbarian banging his way through his adventure.
Every fight is kind of cheesy. I mean, it's not like modern day action. It's not like freaking John Wick where there's a lot of realism to it. It's more like fake punch, like original series Star Trek with fake punches, mallet
Ketchup packets
warhammers.
exploding.
It's like watching Roger from American Dad throw a punch. Like, ah.
That describes it perfectly.
Yes. Even then, fun movie. Fun movie.
Absolutely. I've watched it twice already. And we all missed that mark. We all didn't watch that as kids or growing up.
Better late than never.
That's what I say.
I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there seemed to be a lot of diversity in the movie.
A lot. Yes.
It was.
You-
It was.
And this movie's like an example of how you do it well. Like it's not in your face about it. It's not obnoxious. You don't have unbeatable Captain Marvel.
Captain Valeria.
Captain Valeria, yes.
I think it's
She's
supposed to be more of a Valkyrie type thing.
Some foreshadowing here. She is not invincible.
Thanks for spoiling it for him, Jeremy.
Sorry. Spoiler alert.
Yeah. So movies. So we got to the wheel. I mean, the plot's pretty much simple from there. Conan's let free. He goes, does some barbarian stuff. Eats the witch into the fire. Meets his
Oh yeah,
companion Subutai. Subutai was a fun character. Let me tell you that.
he was a fun character.
If they made this movie today, he'd probably be giving lectures and shit to the audience. But no, he's womanizing and he's loyal to Conan. Like I love the scene where he was introduced, where he's like tied up, tied up outside the witch. Well, he's chained up outside the witch's hut. You gotta wonder, did Conan get his sloppy seconds, or did he not get it, or did Subutai not get any at all?
That's $1 million question. Poor Subutai.
I loved his introduction. It's like, hey, can you feed me? Like he's not asking for help; he's asking for food.
Yeah, so he could die.
Yeah,
This gangster shit.
I want to fight while I'm going down, and then Conan just fucking frees him. After that, then we go into the camel punching and the thief portion of the movie. Now, I gotta say, I didn't much. How do I phrase this? So I think if the movie would have been longer and they would have done more of the whole breaking into the tower and stealing stuff, it probably would have been better.
The camel punch.
More than the camel punch, the whole scene where they break into the tower and steal shit.
That was a pretty rushed scene. But they had to emphasize him fighting the snake.
Yeah,
Gotta throw that in there somewhere.
that was more '80s stuff.
Yeah, that was easily described as about as 80s as it gets for that movie. Besides the haircuts.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this too, but like when they were climbing outside the tower, the tower is essentially coiled up like a snake.
Yeah, that is true.
So
I don't know, the rate they could climb in this movie was incredible.
Yeah, I could climb like that.
after the whole corny snake fight, then we move on to it's where they're going to start rescuing the king's daughter. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I thought that king was a dumbass because you never give payment up front.
That king was a dumbass.
He's lucky they just didn't fucking run off because that was Lady Thief's idea.
Lady Thief.
I don't know if this makes me a misogynist, but I didn't realize the king had a daughter until the very end of the movie.
I did not pay a whole lot of attention to the king scene. I'm not gonna lie, it just kind of slipped by me. It's like, all right, get back to the bad fights.
You guys didn't like that scene? Like I thought the king scene was pretty good.
I liked it. I just didn't pay attention. I like when he nabbed that jewel like Indiana Jones.
Sweating on the snake.
But yeah, the
only thing it was missing was short round.
That was super.
That's okay. I was gonna say we got a Subutai instead of this one. Indiana.
But yeah, I mean he said that like the whole thing with the dagger is like, oh, he's some other guy got this dagger into his chest from his daughter. I don't want to end up like that. Come on, that was a good fucking scene.
Oh yeah, no argument there. That was about as much world building as we got. Besides a few vague mentions of, I'm from this land with these people, or this land with this type of.
I mean,
I derailed.
I do have to say, like that scene really went nowhere either. You thought that I don't know about you guys, but I thought that the princess's own dagger was going to probably play a bigger role later in the movie. It didn't. I don't think she had a fucking dagger once.
She had two snakes.
Yeah. After the thief scene, we go on to more barbarian shenanigans where breaks into the oil. Well, it was a stealth thing where Conan dressed up like the monk and went to join the cult.
I love that scene. I'm not gonna lie.
A giant swole monk.
Giant small monk, and he had the other guy hitting on him. Like, let's go over here in private. Like, I'm so shy.
That was probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire movie.
It's so corny. Knocks him out like in full view of everyone. Everyone just goes about their business.
That scene would play different in 2023.
Right, because you can't punch the man. You can't punch the guy that's hitting on you. That's a hate crime.
It'd be like the end of Monty Python, the Holy Grail, when police come and arrest Conan. Movie over. That leads to the crucifixion. Well, it released like a torture scene where he's kind of getting crappy acted tortured for getting beat up, and then Thulsa Doom confronts him. Now, like I loved like the interaction between Thulsa Doom and Conan. It was like, hey, I made you, and I have power over people, like not actual power, but like fake
The power of flesh.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. He was a cult leader, so command people and they'd kill themselves.
You know, just like what happens to this day. It's a real world scenario right there.
Just then what's left is we got the final third act of the movie. Not that we don't want to spoil it too much for the viewers. Bunch of fighting. Every villain has to get his just desserts, I guess is the proper phrase. I'm gonna be honest with everyone. If you're not into animal cruelty, the final scenes of the movie, besides the camel punch in the second act, very not very. No animal was hurt. They're making this movie logo appropriate.
Exactly. I don't even know if they had disclaimers like that. They're just like, fucking kill the horses. It's okay. We're making big budget films here.
Yeah, I mean, so like I don't know if you'd call it the final act, but the big final act before the actual final one, it takes place in like some burial grounds and all these guys on horses. Meanwhile, think about all these sharpened stakes of bamboo, dropping the horses on them and people rolling around in them. Like, I really hope those were fucking fake. Like, how many people were hurt in the making of this movie?
Did the horses really fall on the wooden stakes?
They fell awfully
It looked
close.
like it.
I don't, because when I was watching that scene, I was like, "There's nobody falling into these stakes. They just put these there for no reason."
And like actual like medieval strategy, those things fucking impale horses.
Yep.
And they impale people. Like I remember at one point, some guy was like rolling down a whole bunch. They were just getting all upturned. Like I'm hoping those are fucking fake. And the guy didn't get stabbed in the kidney or something. Final fight happens. Conan wins. Now I did like I did like at the end where the like main villain kind of ran away. And I was kind of hoping they kind of ended on that note, like, oh, I gotta keep chasing him, and then either a sequel or something off screen. But they go full mile and have Conan kill him.
Well, it's true.
In the slowest kill in the history of cinema. Can you just stand here for a minute?
I imagine Roger punching every time.
Was it me or did you have like chopping him in the shoulder? Like, why won't your head come off? Oh, right.
Sorry, I'm taking out your rotator cuff instead of your neck.
He wanted it to be a painful death.
I actually really enjoyed James Earl Jones in this movie.
Yeah, dude, James Earl Jones did like a really good job.
He's one of the ones that you can take serious no matter what role he's in. And I think he did a good job. He held it down.
Even if they did use a salad bowl to cut his hair.
Okay. Criticism of the movie, like everyone was wearing wigs, and you could tell, like everyone, they're all barbarians, and they got all clean fucking hair.
Clean ass hair, clean ass molds with bowl cuts in front.
Most of the budget was wigs. So they could only afford the foam hammers.
I still say that it needs to be squeaky hammer. All right, so final thoughts. Jeremy, any final thoughts?
It was a fun movie. It's Arnold in it. Seeing Arnold young is fun.
Ryan, final thoughts?
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
All right, that's it. It's fun.
Shakespeare, it was not.
That's all it was 80s fun.
Yeah, it's worth seeing, everyone. One of those movies that it's referenced a lot throughout media, and it's just a fun movie overall, and everyone will enjoy it.
Unless you're PETA.
Yeah, PETA or a doctor who had to deal with a guy getting impaled on a bamboo or stake or whatever it was. All right, so maybe we'll review the second one. Who knows? Find out next time on the Tairimo Boys podcast.
Yeah.
Peace.